Good evening. We will call to order the City of Rockford's regularly scheduled City Council meeting for Tuesday, September 2nd, 2025. This evening, we are fortunate that we have Pastor Violet Joniker here from Rockford Urban Ministries, who will provide us with an invocation.
Will you please pray with me? Almighty God, we give you thanks for these community leaders who gather here tonight to care for the city of Rockford. We ask that you bless them with wisdom and strength, and that in moments of stress, they would be reminded of what called them to this work. As kids are back to school, we pray for bus drivers, administrators, and staff, and for teachers to have the resources they need to create safe and inclusive classrooms. May you comfort the students and families who are afraid of the tragic reality of gun violence, and may you embolden all of us to work for a world where kids get to grow up. We pray and act for those who are hungry. We pray and act for those who are experiencing homelessness. We pray and act for those making impossible choices out of poverty and fear. And during this month of suicide prevention, we pray and act for those who experience severe depression as we work to break down barriers to treatment and life-saving medications. Thank you for our city. Thank you for our neighbors. Bless us with the calling to get to know each other better, to look out for each other, and to show up for each other. May the work of our elected officials at this meeting tonight move us closer to being the beloved community. Amen.
Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Toomberg. Here. Frost. Here. Tarina. Here. Prunty. Here. Wilkins. Here. Hoffman. Here. Granith. Here. Beach. Here. Salgado. Meeks. Here. Bell. Here. Bonnie. Here. 12 present.
Excellent. We have a quorum. Is there a motion to approve the Journal of Proceedings for the City Council meeting held on July 21st, 2025? We have a motion. We have a second. Is there any discussion? Seeing no discussion, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Okay. Next, is there a motion to approve the Journal of Proceedings for the City Council meeting held on August 4th, 2025? We have a motion. We have a second. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Excellent. Next up, we have one proclamation this evening. We have David Rader, who is here. Hi, come on forward, and there's a little door right there for you. Hi, Tom. Come on in. Look at this team. David brought to attention to us that we had this is the 150th anniversary of the most remarkable baseball game on record. Whereas on August 29th, 1870, the Rockford Forest Cities played in what some call the most remarkable baseball game on record. And whereas the Rockford played their home games at the Agricultural Society Fairgrounds, most of which still exists as Fairgrounds Park. I feel like there's an echo, Alderman Bonnie. Whereas, in this league, the challenging team would win the pennant if it defeated the champion twice in 3 games. The Forest Cities had already beat the Brooklyn Atlantics once in a game that ended with a controversial play. And whereas this important second game became tied in the 8th inning and continued in a tense back-and-forth matchup with outstanding defensive plays and spectacular catches in the outfield until the 12th inning, and another controversial call. A drop third strike that struck the umpire but ruled a live ball. The Brooklyn Atlantics ended up winning the game in the bottom of the 12th inning, and whereas the Forest Cities tried to set up a decisive third game for the championship before the Atlantics left town, I would call them chicken, but there was not a ball field available on such short notice, and sadly the third game never came to pass. And whereas Rockford Forest Cities, officially the Forest City Club, joined the National Association and was one of the first ball clubs to pay their players, but folded after just one season of the association's inaugural season in 1871. So Therefore, I, Thomas P. McNamara, do recognize the 155th anniversary of the most remarkable baseball game on record. David, please share a little bit with us.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor McNamara, and thank you to the City Council and Alderman Body for inviting me here today. I just want to say that I know that baseball has a great history in the city of Rockford, but most of us think of the Rockford Peaches, of the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League that was immortalized in the League of Their Own. However, yes, you know it. However, Rockford was also one of the first great baseball cities in the Midwest, and in fact, in 1868, the current historian for Major League Baseball called the Rockford Forest Cities victory against the Washington Nationals the most important baseball game of all time. And that was not just talk. It was a very important time in Rockford. And in 1870, we almost won the championship. We came within 1 out of winning it. And we would have been champions of baseball in the entire country. And we would have been the first Midwest team, and in fact, the first team west of New York City to ever win that honor. And we came within 1 out. That team also had Hall of Famers Al Spalding and Ross Barnes, as well as future baseball players, Major League Baseball players Joe Simmons and Bob Addy. And I do know that we have the Women's Baseball World Cup coming here next July, and I hope that we continue to celebrate Rockford's history with baseball and the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League, but I also wanted to bring to attention the fact that even before we were paying players for baseball, the city of Rockford was one of the great baseball towns in all of America. So, thank you again.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. Next, we're going to move to petitions and communications, and we will first go to our legal department.
Thank you, Your Honor. We are in receipt of the Comcast quarterly franchise fee payment in the amount of $285,416.08.
Thank you. Next, we're going to go to, we have nothing under planning and development, so we'll go to Code and Regulation Committee. Alderman Bonney.
We have two items. Number one, Traffic Commission's agenda for the meeting to be held on September 10th, 2025, and minutes from that meeting for consideration at the Code and Regulation Committee meeting on September 22nd, 2025. And number two, memorandum from Martin Bloom, Project Manager, Permits and Special Events, regarding an upcoming special event for Stroll on State, Dasher-5K, and both of those are referred to the Code and Regulation Committee.
Thank you. Next, we'll go to Finance and Personnel Committee. Alderman Frost.
Thank you, Your Honor. All three of these matters will be referred to the Finance and Personnel Committee. Number one is a memorandum from Jamie Rott, Water Superintendent, regarding the IEP revolving loan fund application approval and authorizing ordinance for Well 46 new treatment plant, reservoir, and site improvements. Number two is also a memorandum from Jamie Rott regarding the IEPA revolving loan fund application approval, authorizing ordinances for the lead service line replacements. And number three is a memorandum from Owen Carter regarding the acceptance of the Illinois Medical Respite Capacity Building Initiative from the Illinois Public Health Institute Grant Award. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we're going to move to our public speakers. I want to remind our public speakers that there's a microphone on the back left as well as the back right of council chambers. You'll have 3 minutes to address the council. If my phone's acting appropriately, you will hear an alarm go off, and if it is not, I will ask you to close your comments at the end of 3 minutes. Our first public speaker this evening is Robert Pace.
I want to speak this evening about the special use permit that's being voted on, I believe, tonight for the project that Mr. Van Vliet and Mr. Salamone are planning for that area. So I think there's sometimes a reluctance to approving or considering high-density units as this one's going to be. And I just want to express some of the values I see of those, and because I've lived in a town where we had them. And one of the values of them is that they bring in a lot of a mini economy to those areas. And so it helps support all the stores in those neighborhoods. And the next one is it helps increase the per capita income, which is going to make our city more attractive to developers as well as national brand stores like Trader Joe's. Infrastructure concerns, I heard there might be some of those. I sent you some pictures yesterday. I didn't get the full area because I wasn't sure exactly what it was, but I did take part of it. And I did notice in there are fire hydrants already in place, and the streets are in excellent condition. And the area across the street from this planned facility is already accommodating a 59-unit senior housing project. So there is that kind of unit in that area already. There's also a police station down the street 2 miles down, and about a mile down on Trainer Road is a fire station. Creating more housing in this town is going to solve a lot of the problems that we're having, because we're getting a lot of attention for the affordability of this town, and I think that Sarah Lee's and John Grove's job is going to be made easier by approving these kind of facilities, because then they can go to a national level marketing, because they're going to have homes available for those people who might be interested in moving to Rockford. In conclusion, I want to say I think we should appreciate everybody who wants to develop in this town, because I don't see a lot of developers knocking on our door right now, and especially with some of the things going on in the economy. So I just wanted to say at this point, I'd like to see a growing list of developers, and that way once we start seeing that kind of thing happen here, we can go out and look at and find lists of other developers from other areas and market to them. So that's all I wanted to say, and hopefully the vote goes in support of this unit. Thank you.
Thank you. The next public speaker this evening is Prophet Yusuf.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. In the book of Proverbs, the 13th chapter, the 20th verse, it says, the one walking with the wise will become wise. What I want to speak about tonight, an epidemic that we have in the United States. Mass shooters let you know what they are going to do before they explode. A glitch about violent offenders is that someone often will say, what a nice, quiet neighbor the person was before the eruption. My study of mass attacks in America suggests quite the opposite, and that perhaps more of these rampages can be prevented. I studied 27 incidents in 2018, in which a total of nearly 200 people were killed or injured in a public place, including Mercy Hospital in Chicago, Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida. The findings don't at all suggest that perpetrators had gone unnoticed by others, or that they had shown no previous signs of strange. Rather, I found that most attacks were motivated by specified grievance. 2/3 of offenders had history of mental health issues. Nearly all were men, and nearly all had made threats or said or done things that raised concern in people around them. 75% had experienced a major stress event, such as a death, divorce, homelessness, or lost their job, or kicked out of school. The future, for whatever reason, looked bleak and disturbing. Their behavior was escalating. In suburban Aurora, Gary Martin killed 5 co-workers and injured 5 police officers at manufacturer Henry Pratt Company. He had a history of violent behavior, going back 20 years, including stabbing one girlfriend and threatening to kill her on the day of the shooting. He warned a co-worker that if I get fired, I'm going to kill every mother elf here, and I'm going to blow the police up, according to the Kane County State's Attorney Office. That was extreme example and cause hindsight is 2020. Observer might even think that if someone were really serious about wanting to commit a crime, he'll have the sense to keep it quiet about it. But rather than plotting in secret, these perpetrators tend to throw around plenty of hints. The need to pick up on these clues is a license to report people to bosses, school officials, and police. It's all about understanding how to recognize and respond to red flags in family, acquaintance, co-workers, or fellow students, and making it more routine to report behavior that seems truly out of line and escalate. Friends, family members, schoolmates, and the community can pick up on these clues and help reduce these mass shootings. The police should watch Facebook. These clowns let you know what they're going to do before they do it. I also been wanting to tell Mayor Morrissey this for a long time, and I'm going to get it off my chest. I don't like you, I love you, and happy birthday. Thank you for allowing me to speak.
Thank you. Our next public speaker this evening is Denzel Winter.
Good afternoon, City Council. I have a question. A couple of weeks ago, that young man right there asked the question. I have a house, and I have not been in the house, but I got a $500 water bill, and there was no meter hooked up or anything. And I'm trying to figure out, how did I get such a high water bill with no water running, no running water? And, I need to find out, because I thought I had paid the water bill just so I could get into the house, but they tell me different, so I need to find out. Another thing, Mayor, I want to thank you for standing up to John Bay. He's a bum, and he's a thief, and he's a liar, because he took a hospital away from us on the west side, and it doesn't bother him. And all he was trying to do was get more money from the city of Rockford. So, Mayor, keep fighting it, man, because we're not no country bumpkins here, and he needs to find that out. I love this city. This city has done a good thing for me. I have a great friend in Chief Red. Next year, fire department ain't going to win if I have anything to do with it. So, I want to thank you for putting us as citizens up front, because we needed that place over there. At one time, they was trying to take me way over there. How can my family get to see me? If I'm way out there. When all they had to do, they could walk over to Rockford Memorial, and it should have never left. The city of Rockford was doing him a favor when they offered to fix the flood that happened down there. I remember that. But like I said, thank you for standing up for us, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next public speaker this evening is John Tack Brantley.
Good evening, Mayor. This weekend I was really pondering. Our Antichrist wannabe dictator, Donald Trump, is planning on bringing the National Guards to Chicago. I'm glad to hear the mayor of Chicago and the governor standing up against him. We are so close to a civil war. We are already in the midst of a civil war. So the Chicago police said they are not going to work with our National Guard. What do you think going to happen by them not working with them? And then what irks me even more about our wannabe Antichrist is the fact that he's a convicted felon, adulteress, and he had the nerve to let a national warrant out for the Russian leader, give him a red carpet in our country when we supposed to follow our national law. He have 5 people on the Supreme Court. He got the White House, he got the legislature, and he got the Senate. All in his favor, following him blindly. They're in the process of getting ready to cut some more of our program. He going after every judge that stand up against him, but he don't talk about the judge that stand up for him. Then he gonna want to send 250 of our kids to Guatemala. I'm glad the judge stopped that. ISIS has been taken over by, we used to call them the Tea Party and his special group of thugs, the Proud Boys and the others. They're the ones you see with the mask on their face. So how long is it going to be before he come to Rockford? And then I want to piggyback and say thank you, Mayor, because I've been hitting the pavement hard. I resented our state representatives, our black officials, and our bourgeoisie officials that bagged him up about that Mercy Hospital. He lied and said they were going to send $50 million at Rockford Memorial Hospital. He didn't spend 1 red cent. He waited till 10 years went by, and then he shut it down. What's going to happen when people way out on Springfield, past Springfield, need to get to the hospital, they got to get to Swede. That means that time is going to increase for the fire department and what have you, when they could have went right there at Rockford Memorial Hospital. Why they did not let Swedish America and Rockford Memorial Hospital come together? It's up to us to teach our kids our history. Right now, they want to eliminate our history. He want to close institutions, federal institutions that have our history in there. I'm taking the page out of Roots. Kunta Kinte got the hell beat out of him before he said his name was Toby. I'm getting the hell beat out of me every day, and I'm going to continue to teach our kids our history. Because we don't look out for our future generation, we won't have no future generation. And Chief Colorado, I envy you because you got a job on your hand, because ISIS is coming to our town, and we're going to face off with them when they do come.
Thank you. Thank you to all. Thank you. Thank you to all of our public speakers this evening. Next, we're going to go to new committee reports. We'll begin with Planning and Development Committee and Alderwoman Wilkins.
Thank you, Your Honor. One item tonight. Item 1, committee recommends approval of the development agreement with Aetna Building Solutions and the City of Rockford for the construction and maintenance of a rail line in the amount of $139,233. The funding source is the 11th Street Project Fund. The legal director shall prepare the appropriate ordinance.
Thank you, Council. We have one item before us. Is there any discussion on that one item? Seeing no discussion, clerk, will you please call the roll?
Yerke. Logeman. Toomberg. Frost. Torina. Prunty. Wilkins. Hoffman. Granith. Beach. Salgado. Meeks. Bell. Bonnie. 14 ayes.
Thank you. Next, we're going to go to Code and Regulation Committee and Alderman Bonnie.
Thank you, Mayor. We have 8 items. Item 1, committee recommends sustaining the Traffic Commission's approval for residential parking permits on the west side of Court Street from 30 feet south of Chestnut Street to 90 feet south of Chestnut Street. The legal director shall prepare the appropriate ordinance. Item 2, committee recommends sustaining the Traffic Commission's approval for a restriction requiring traffic on Calgary Court to stop prior to entering the intersection with Florida Drive. The legal director shall prepare the appropriate ordinance. 3, committee recommends sustaining the Zoning Board of Appeals approval for a zoning map amendment from R1 single-family residential zoning district to I1 light industrial zoning district at 5001 Sandy Hollow Road. Michael Miller, applicant. Subject to conditions, the legal director shall prepare the appropriate ordinance. 4, committee recommends sustaining the Zoning Board of Appeals approval for a special use permit for a mural on a building in an I-1 light industrial zoning district at 1126 Kilburn Avenue. Jim Lanciotti for DFA, Gary Brands Fluid, LLC, doing business as Kemp's Cultured, as the applicant. Subject to conditions, the legal director shall prepare the appropriate ordinance. Number 5, committee recommends sustaining the Zoning Board of Appeals approval for a zoning map amendment from R1 single-family residential zoning to C3 general commercial zoning at 4972 and 4980 South Main Street. Road Ranger 203 ML LLC is the applicant. Subject to conditions, the legal director shall prepare the appropriate ordinance. 6, committee recommends sustaining the Zoning Board of Appeals approval for a special use permit for body art services tattoo shop in a C4 urban mixed-use zoning district at 319 West Jefferson Street. Joshua Bauer is the applicant. Subject to conditions, the legal director shall prepare the appropriate ordinance. 7, committee recommends sustaining the Liquor and Tobacco Advisory Board's approval for A, the sale of packaged liquor, and B, the sale of tobacco products in conjunction with a licensed truck stop and convenience store with video gaming terminals in an R1 single-family residential zoning district at 4980 South Main Street. Road Ranger LLC, doing business as Road Ranger number 203, is the applicant. Subject to conditions, the legal director shall prepare the appropriate ordinance. And item 8, committee recommends denial of the sale of tobacco products in conjunction with a cigar and vape store in a C3 commercial general zoning district at 109 North Showplace Drive, Suite 133, Mustafa Naji, Sahar Barwari, Premium Cigar and Vape LLC, doing business as Premium Cigar and Vape, is the applicant. The Liquor and Tobacco Advisory Board voted 3-3, resulting in no recommendation.
Thank you. Council, we have eight items before us. Is there any discussion on those 8 items? Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Durkee.
No on 8, I am
Logeman.
No on 8, I am
Toomberg.
Aye.
Frost.
Aye.
Tarina. Prunty. Wilkins. Hoffman.
No on 8, I am the remainder.
Granith. Beach.
As printed, that the yes is the denial.
Director?
Yes, that's correct for item number 8. Yes would be in support of the denial, and no would be opposed to the denial.
Aye. And a no on 7A and yes in the rest.
Salgado.
No on 8, aye on the rest.
Meeks.
No on 8, aye on the rest.
Bell.
No on 8 on the rest.
Bonnie.
No on 8, aye on the rest.
Items 1 through 6, 14 ayes. Item 7 is a no for item A, and then item number 8 is 5 ayes, 9 noes.
Thank you. Next, we're going to go to Finance and Personnel Committee and Alderman Frost.
Thank you, Your Honor. Number 1, the committee recommends approval of vouchers in the amount of $11,259,862.65 as approved at the Finance and Personnel Committee meeting held on August 25th, 2025. Number 2, the committee recommends approval of the lease agreement with Emerald Property Management in the amount of $9,000. This does not require a cost match. It's a 1-year term. Will provide transitional housing per the requirements of the current impact through the Winnebago County Community Mental Health Board. The funding source is the Winnebago County Community Health Board grant. The legal director shall prepare the appropriate ordinance. I place these 2 matters before you.
Thank you. Council, we've got 2 items. Any discussion on those 2 items? Alderwoman Meeks.
Thank you so much. I was just wondering for item number 2, how many people will this service in a year?
Director Parra?
Thanks for your question, Alderman Meeks. That particular amount, I'm sorry, I don't know the exact number, but it fluctuates. So it depends on the number of individuals that we have that are intaked into that impact program. That determines the number of folks that we need to house and how we work with the partners. This is not the only location that will utilize those funds for this particular program. So I don't know exactly, but I believe we currently have about 8 folks in another agreement of similar size.
Thank you so much.
Any other questions on either of the 2 items before you? Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Durkee. Aye. Logeman. Aye. Toomberg. Aye. Frost. Aye. Torina. Prunty. Aye. Wilkins. Aye. Hoffman. Aye. Granith. Aye. Beach. Aye. Salgado. Meeks. Aye. Bell. Aye. Bonnie. Aye. 14 ayes.
Excellent. Next, we'll go to Unfinished Business Committee reports laid over. We have nothing under Planning and Development, so we'll go to Code and Regulation Committee and Alderman Bonnie.
Thank you, Mayor. We have 2 items. Item 1, committee recommends sustaining the Zoning Board of Appeals approval for a special use permit for a planned unit development consisting of 68 single-story duplexes, 62 story duplexes, and 52 two-story 4-unit buildings for a total of 180 units in a C2 limited commercial zoning district at 6507, 6557, 6597, 65XX, 6640, 6660, 66XX, 6730, 6770, 6783, and 6819 Fincham Drive, 886 and 891 Whitechapel Lane, 6785 Mill Road, and 9XX High Grove Place. FLVS LLC for AC Johnston, William Charles Real Estate Development LLC is the applicant. Subject to conditions, the legal director must prepare the appropriate ordinance, and this item was laid over from our August 18th meeting. And item number 2, committee recommends sustaining the Traffic Commission's recommendation that no action be taken on the following item: a request to establish a no parking at any time restriction on the south side of Toft Street from Barlow Court to 125 feet east of Barlow Court. This also was laid over from August 18th.
Thank you. Council, we have 2 items. Is there any discussion on those 2 items? Alderman Logeman?
One real quick question, Mayor. Probably for the fire chief. For item number 1, if there were an additional 180 units, would that be Station 8 that would be the closest? And the larger question is, I think something that doesn't get discussed often enough is when we have these bigger developments, how that impacts like our public service here in the city of Rockford. So I was just curious, can you confirm that that's Station 8? And then can you just speak to how like the additional 180 units out there on the east side might impact fire operations?
Chief Carlson?
Sure, I believe we're talking off of Finch, and that would be 5 out there off of Trainer Road, or in that general area that we station 5 down on Trainer. Obviously, any large development or larger development could cause an increase in call volume out there. With that number of units, I don't know how significant that would be, but there would be some increase. We already are, running a lot of calls out on the east side there. We have 2 stations east of Alpine, so we do get a lot of call for services out in that area. So it could cause some impact, but I don't know how significant it would be without looking into it a little further.
Okay, thank you.
Alderman Logeman, did you have a follow-up?
No.
Other questions, discussion? Alderman Durkee.
Thank you, Your Honor. I guess we sit close together. The brain waves must. So I had a similar question, and I've raised the issue before in my belief that we do need another fire station out there. It's not just the number of people, but it's now increasing distance. We have long distances both in the 1st Ward and especially also in the 6th Ward. And when I reviewed some calls for service in the past, it looks like we were stealing, and if you want to call it that, stealing services. We're pulling them from farther west, and response times can sometimes grow. So I think there needs to be serious, and we're in a budgetary phase, serious consideration of setting aside some money at least to start looking at buying a piece of land where we would think another fire station should go. As far as the development itself, there's been some controversy regarding it as to putting it there. We have residents who would prefer that to be empty land, and that's never going to happen. If we put commercial in there, people who want residential in that location would want residential. There's others, if we put residential, maybe they favor commercial. There's opinion in the neighborhood all over the place regarding this. But as it relates to development, this is almost the perfect type of development for this area. The area is part commercial, and the multifamily housing is kind of what development looks like, appropriate development looks like. It's almost a buffer between commercial and single-family homes. As it relates to some concerns about traffic, Fincham Road with egress out onto State Street as well as Perryville can easily, and those are both controlled intersections, can easily handle the traffic. It is residential traffic, which tends to be less than commercial. So I think it's a good development. It's well thought out. I hope the developer can pull it off. But I think that should allay some of the fears that residents have. These new residents in this area are not going to be driving south into their neighborhood, which is what they were afraid of. They will be driving north. They'll be heading toward State or east toward Perryville to get in and out of their neighborhood. It's not going to be an increased traffic in the homes, in the neighborhoods and the residents south of this development. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Other discussion on any of the items before us? Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Durkee.
Aye.
Logeman.
No on 1 and 2.
Toomberg.
No on 1, I and 2.
Frost.
No on 1, I and 2.
Tarina. Prunty. Wilkins.
No on 1, I and 2.
Hoffman.
No on 1, I and 2.
Granith.
No on 1, I and 2.
Beach.
No on 1, I and 2.
Salgado. Meeks. Bell.
No.
On both. Bonnie.
No. No on 1, I and 2.
Next,
5 ayes, 9 noes on item 1, 13 ayes, 1 no on item 2.
Thank you. Next, we have no items under Finance and Personnel Committee, so we'll go to officers' reports. Are there any council members who have items that they'd like to bring up? Alderwoman Grant.
I want to give a thank you to those that helped put on the Rockford Labor Day Parade yesterday, to both the officers that worked it and to the people of the Labor Day Committee. It was a great event. There was a lot of candy. There was a lot of kids. It's always good to see people walking along. And I would also like to say I went last week to the graduation ceremony for the concrete team, and I don't know the official name of it, but it was a very heartfelt, it was a great place to be. And as an educator, I know that sometimes we don't always get to see the end product, and so to see somebody start it off and then go forward with it and see them move on into the trades is a great thing. So I just want to say congratulations to all of those, and again, thank you to all of those that put on the Rockford Labor Day Parade.
Thank you. Alderwoman Prunty and then Alderwoman Meeks.
Oh, dude, I don't want to steal your thunder. Are you going to talk about Hicks, Clarence Hicks? Then I will pass. I will. It was, and I'll let you go from there.
Thank you. Alderwoman Meeks and then Alderwoman Tarina.
I want to thank the residents that came out to the 12th Ward meeting last week. It was very informative. But I also just want to say that I think that last vote that we just made for housing, or rather the vote against housing that we just made, was absolutely despicable. And I don't know what's going on with this city council with regards to housing and the need for housing in this community, but the fact that we continuously kind of go down these routes, I don't quite understand it. So I just had to say that. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Alderwoman Torino.
Thank you. Let me take a deep breath because I, too, feel that the vote was despicable as well. First, let me start off by saying I have a ward meeting coming up on October 8th. It is at 911 Michigan Avenue. The meeting starts at 5:30 p.m. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a great time, so I hope to see the residents there. Again, let me take a deep breath. Can you come back to me, Mayor, please?
Absolutely. Alderman Thunberg.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to thank everyone who came out for the Jamie Cox Memorial ride a week ago last Saturday. It was a great turnout. We had a couple hundred motorcycles. I'd like to thank the county, Winnebago and Ogle County Sheriff's Department for the taking the lead on that. And it was just a great event and for a good cause for his foundation. Thank you.
Alderwoman Prunty.
Just wanted to just share how pleased I was to attend the event for the that put on by the Park District for the Clarence Hicks complex. It's a beautiful facility, and I'm looking forward to spending lots of games there with my family members and having the children that I'm partially responsible for participate on that field. I think it's a beautiful facility, and just they did an excellent job from beginning to end to make that event wonderful. And thank you all for speaking. You all did an excellent job. Just bringing it all together and kicking us off. So, thank you.
Thank you. Alderman Salgado.
Yeah, just two things, Mayor. Thank you very much. Just want to also echo Ms. Prunty's comments about Clarence Hicks. It was a great event. Those are things of collaboration. So big shout out to Lamont Jones. Obviously, he's done extensive work with the Bears, good relationship with the NFL flag football, the training camp he has in the May perspective, and now with the unveiling of, the Walter Payton turf field there, the practice warm-up facility was great to see the Bear logo for those that are Bear fans. I think that was a plus. So there is some historical context with that. So I think I really appreciate that and the hard work that, the collaboration that went with that. And so I think it's more importantly, it's, for the community to grow it on that side and also, promote NFL flag football for girls and stuff like that. So I think it's very positive to give, young ones to do something like that. Second of all, I want to invite everybody to Tamale Fest is September 6th, this Saturday from 1 to 8. I have a couple of tickets for those that have some time. It's from 1 to 8, like I said. I have a couple tickets, so if you're interested, please come out. It's a fun time. I'll be a judge for one of the events that they're doing there, so I encourage everybody to come out. And just one last thing. It is Hispanic Heritage Month coming up, so I want to promote that as well as part of this Tamale Fest. And there's a lot of activities going on throughout the city in the next month or so coming up for Hispanic Heritage Month. So just want to remind everybody about that. Thank you very much.
Would you say you have 14 tickets, or how many are we talking here?
I certainly have 10 right now, but I certainly can get more.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you. Alderman Bonnie?
Thank you, Mayor. So I want to thank administration staff for the work that has been done on the trying to resolve the prolonged delays that we've had with fiber optic installation and restoration of people's yards. And I know that there is somewhat of an update that council could be given and the public could be given, but before that, I want to share two communications from people in my ward, because we were told in May that Sci-Fi, which we have a contract with, was looking at a June 12th target date to be caught up. We're now 10 days out from September 12th, and I feel like I'm still receiving as many or complaints as ever, that everything is, and I know that, in fact, based on one of these, not all of these delays are Sci-Fi. There are other vendors, but I just think it's important to note some of these for the record, because to affirm for people across the city that it's not. I don't think this is unique to any particular neighborhood or ward. I was contacted by former 8th Ward Alderman Nancy Johnson, who wrote a letter that she wanted read at council. I believe she used the poor judgment of sending that to Alderman Beach, who may have lost the letter. But if he has it, he can read it. If he doesn't, we'll see if we can get Alderman Johnson to send it again or to come and speak. But of the several that I've received, the two I wanted to share are, one is from Kathleen O'Connell, who wrote that, "I've never in 30 years of home ownership felt the need to write to my alderman, but I'm wondering if you have any information regarding the status of the fiber optic project. They came in late May and dug for the tubing that the cables run through, but nothing has happened since. The tubes come out of the ground. The piles of dirt remain nearly 3 months later. We are all beginning to think the money ran out and we have to live with this mess. I walk through the neighborhood all of the time and see everyone's yard in the same state." And previously I shared a text message from a retired firefighter who lives, Luke Vutera, who lives in the 14th Ward. And he shared with me the communication he had with a different vendor. I believe it's in here somewhere. And that vendor's response back. So he told the vendor, "My yard was dug up back in May. You reached out to me on July 7th. You told me my neighborhood was still an active work area. I haven't seen anyone in the neighborhood since May 6th of this year." That was almost 4 years ago. And then the vendor responded back after that delay in getting any kind of response. "I need to inquire with the contractor crews and ask the status of your street. My understanding is that restoration crews are behind on restoration and another team is being brought in to catch up." And retired firefighter responded to me that at this point, I would like to have my yard fixed by someone of my choosing and send the bill to the city of Rockford and have them pay for it. I've been patient, but nothing is getting done, and I'm fed up. And this is ridiculous, and I just think we should be thankful. People are concerned about the appearance of their yards and their neighbors' yards. It's a good problem to have, and I know my own yard is untouched, and I just think it is horrible advertising. I don't know why anyone would sign up to to take internet service from any company that has this kind of lousy customer service. Thank you.
Thank you. Going to Alderwoman Torina and then to Alderman Beach.
Thank you, Mayor. So yes, on Saturday, there was the grand opening of the Clarence Hicks Memorial Sports Park, which resides in my ward. Last week, my mother, she said to me, you know, Clarence Hicks used to come to the house. He used to come see Daddy. And I thought that was really special. And then to know that we had photographs in some of our family photo albums of Clarence Hicks, being a friend of my grandfather's, that was kind of special to me, to make some family connection to this great person that this park was named after. I certainly have to just give, like, it's bigger than a shout out. The Park District, we know that they are just an exemplary organization in our community. I know the amount of work it takes to put on an event of that size. There had to have been well over 1,000 people there. So I just want to thank all and all hands were on deck. You saw every member of staff at the Park District there to take care of the community. And there was free food and games, and it just was a really beautiful example of community collaboration, from the donation of the signage and the press box from the Van Vliet Foundation, the practice turf from the Chicago Bears. And I do also want to acknowledge Senator Sodelman for his contribution in bringing such a large amount of funding to the project. What I'm really most excited about is that I do believe that it is going to bring more economic opportunity and attract more economic it's just going to be an engine to attract more businesses and retail and other resources that are needed to, because of the more people that are going to be at this park, we have to have the businesses to support the more traffic that's going to happen as a result of the park. So just a really, really exciting thing for the 5th Ward, South Rockford, and just want to thank everyone from the bottom of my heart, honestly, for the hard work that was put into putting on such a beautiful community event. So yes, thank you very much.
Thank you. Alderman Beach.
Thank you, Your Honor. I appreciate your comments this past week at the ribbon cutting of the new youth center, sponsored by State Line Youth for Christ. Quite a turnout and quite a transformation of an old warehouse into a beautiful youth center, what I consider strategically located among all major schools in that area where kids can come and be involved. So thank you for that. Thank you for the State Line Youth for Christ for their vision. And I understand the building is all paid for, and they're on the way to perhaps phase 2. So I want to say again, thank you for that. And back to the 4th Ward Alderman's comment regarding the former Alderman Nancy Johnson. You know, regardless of what side of the aisle, some of us are friends with one another. And so Nancy did write a letter. She told me that she wrote on behalf of another elderly lady, neighbor, whose lawns were just destroyed, and that they paid out of their own pocket nearly $400 to try to get a thing put back in shape, which they should not have had to done. And the thing, I guess, that really makes me feel, I don't want to say the word bad, but that's kind of how I feel inside, that a good thing that was brought to this city has turned out to be a bad thing in the eyes of the residents. And I know that the administration has been speaking to the officials from these various companies, but once the bad news starts going down the line, it just really sours it all. And now I will say, in defense of some of this, I notice in my own area, around part of the 5th Precinct area, they're starting to do some touch-up. And so thank you, finally, after weeks and months of that. But again, a good thing that's making people upset. So thank you for letting me speak, and thank you for recognizing State Line Youth for Christ.
Any other? Alderman Logeman.
Real quick, just regarding the fiber optic, I wanted to give a shout out to, so in the second ward, I've been dealing with a lot of these frustrations for the third year now, but for other aldermen, Tony Billick has really been super helpful in trying to work through these issues. So I'm sure there will be other aldermen who continue to run through these problems, but yeah, Anthony Billick in Public Works has been phenomenal to work with. So thank you.
Any other reports? A couple of items I bring up is, one, thank you for a couple of echoes of comments that were brought up. Community Center is absolutely beautiful. If you haven't had an opportunity, please get down to it. They really, from walking into that facility just 8-10 months ago to what it is today, you can't even recognize it. And I think it'll be well used. Secondly, Alderwoman Granith mentioned the workforce concrete graduation. Pretty special to hear, I would say, all the stories were really pretty unique, but the two that really stuck out to me was a young woman who had recently had a baby, and just talk about how that opportunity will really help change her life, but also care for her child in a new way for her. And then also a gentleman who had had been shot in the head, and how he bounced back and took advantage of this opportunity and now has a full-time job from it, were two areas that really stuck out. Also, a big thank you to our police department for a great swearing-in ceremony. We were able to swear in 12 new officers, as well as the promotion of now Deputy Chief Mark Sanders, so we certainly congratulate him in that as well. Alderwoman Trina, I think, said it better than I could regarding Clarence Hicks, so huge credit to Park District. Facilities out there really look beautiful. They did a great job with the event. The one thing Alderwoman Trina did not mention is she can give a prayer. If anyone was there, she brought down the house at the end. Really a beautiful and powerful prayer. So you're giving Alderman Beach a run for the money if our invocator doesn't show up. I may be coming to you occasionally. Alderman Beach is like, please. Brought up regarding sci-fi, we did have a meeting, I would say, in the last 10, 12-ish days from our previous meeting. Just truthfully, they missed a mark. Just unacceptable where yards stand. This meeting, we had the CEOs of Sci-Fi as well as their contractor, AUI, on the call, which we did not have both of those the previous meeting. I think our message was very clear and simple, and I think it was very well understood, and we have had quite a bit of back and forth with both of them with the number of complaints coming in. I know our team is doing double the work, I would say, and putting back in information into a system that they can have it and see it and be held accountable for it. We meet again on October 3rd in the afternoon, really as a checkup. Are they going to get all of these areas fixed up? So I would urge you, and I know you have been doing this, but please continue to provide us information. And I know it's tedious to you as it is to as it is frustrating to the residents. Any address, not just this 100 block, but if you can find those addresses for us, any single address that has issues, we want to know about. Many of which you've turned in. If someone sends you another email and you're like, I know I turned that in, send it back in. We want to make sure that we keep track of how long they've been in disrepair. All of that information is incredibly helpful as we have these meetings, and I will provide you an update shortly after that October 3rd meeting. Director Sanders, did you want to add to that?
I think that accurately, thank you very much, Mayor. I think that accurately represents the meeting. It was a positive meeting. And just for follow-up tangible numbers, in their restoration efforts, they had AUI, who was doing the physical installation work for Sci-Fi. They were down to 3, sometimes 2 restoration crews that were working behind upwards of 20 different boring and trench crews. And that math doesn't quite add up. You're just not going to catch up to the disturbance with 2 restoration crews. Since the time of the meeting, over the past 2 weeks, they've increased to 7 restoration crews, and they will add an 8th starting the week of the 15th of September. Since that meeting, we have submitted 317 individual address tickets, and 150 of those have already been closed, which greatly exceeds past closure rates and timelines. We probably bombarded them with a lot all at once. So that 150 have been taken care of in 2 weeks is good news. So there is some tangible evidence that they are taking efforts to correct their process.
Thank you. Alderwoman Hoffman.
Thank you, Mayor. Can you please tell me how many females now have graduated through the cement program?
I can't tell you that off the top of my head. I can tell you that there was 2 women who graduated this Thursday. Out of the 6 that were present, I believe there were some who got jobs earlier and already kind of graduated out of the program, but I know there was 2 on stage on Thursday.
It would be nice to know sometime.
I can get that.
How many women?
I'll get that, and I'll also give you some breakdown of those individuals, where they went. I believe Alderwoman Prunty asked me, so I may have it, and I can just send it out to everyone.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you. Alderman Durkee.
Yeah, thank you, Your Honor. Just a follow-up on the restoration. I think there's a twofold problem. One is the obvious, they're not doing it. The second problem that needs to be monitored is actually the substandard repair that they do.
Yeah.
I actually tore mine out, did it myself. Because whoever's going back is doing a lousy job. So I can't speak to the whole area. I can just speak to us and my street, whatever that contractor was. I don't know if it's the same one, but they certainly didn't do a great job. So, but thanks for following up with that.
No, and thank you for that. Great point. Should have brought that up. Me or Scott could have brought that up, so our apology. That was absolutely part of the discussion. Actually, one of the first things I pointed to them was an area that they thought they closed out near a school that we highlighted that they had not done it appropriately or to our satisfaction. And when Scott, as director, is saying that 150 are closed, that means our team has actually went and put eyes on it, and that we agreed that it was closed. So they think certain numbers are closed. We think less of those are closed because we're saying this isn't up to our resident standards. So absolutely. Any of those as well that you think is just not up to the standard, please make us aware. Thank you for that. Next, appointments are laid over. We have motions and resolutions. We have nothing under planning and development, so we'll go to Code and Regulation Committee. Alderman Bonney.
Thank you, Mayor. We have 2 items. Item 1 is a resolution to approve Purdue Pharma bankruptcy plan and authorize execution of a settlement agreement in opioid legislation. Item 2 is a resolution to participate in opioid litigation settlements with 8 manufacturer defendants and authorize execution of the participation form. And both of those are laid over from August 18th, and both require suspension of Rule 9.
Thank you. Can I ask for a motion to suspend for both at the same time? Is there a motion to suspend Rule number 9 for item 1 and item 2?
Second.
We have a motion. We have a second. Is there any discussion simply on the motion to suspend Rule 9? No discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, so now we have 2 items before us, items 1 and 2. Any discussion on those 2 items? Seeing no discussion, Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Durkee.
Aye.
Logeman.
Aye.
Toomberg.
Aye.
Frost.
Aye.
Torina. Prunty. Wilkins. Hoffman. Granith. Beach. Salgado. Meeks. Bell. Bonnie.
Aye.
14 ayes.
Thank you. Next, we're going to go to Finance and Personnel Committee and Alderman Frost.
Thank you, Your Honor. Number 1, we're going to hold out. Number 2, committee recommends approval to award a bid for public works materials to Northern Illinois Service, N-Track, and Rock Road companies an estimated annual amount of $200,000. The contract is 1 year. The funding source is the departmental operating budgets. Number 3, the committee recommends approval to award a bid for citywide street repairs group number 6 to Norwest Construction in the amount of $405,799.21. The contract is through October 17, 2025. The funding sources are ARPA funds and the casino funds. Number 4, the committee recommends approval of award of bid for police uniform and shoes to Uniform Den East and Ray O'Haran in the amount of $200,000 based on unit pricing. It's a one-year contract with 4 possible one-year extension options. Annual price adjustments for CPI will be considered a contract renewal only. The funding source is the police department operating budget. Number 3, the committee recommends approval of award of sole source contract for vehicle barriers to Meridian Rapid Defense Group in the amount of $437,662.74. This is a one-time purchase. The funding source is the redevelopment fund. Number 6, the committee recommends approval of award of joint purchase contract for a Vactron hydro vacuum excavator to Vermeer in the amount of $146,797.67, including 2 additional years of parts and labor warranty. This is a one-time purchase. The funding source is the Water Division capital lease funds. Number 7, the committee recommends approval of award of joint purchase contract for a skid steer loader to Bobcat in the amount of $54,155.50. It's also a one-time purchase. The funding source is the Street Department capital lease funds. Number 8, the committee recommends approval of award of joint purchase contract for a rotary boom mower attachment to Bobcat in the amount of $39,990. This is a one-time purchase. The funding source is the Street Department capital lease funds. Number 9, the committee recommends approval of award of RFP for Brownfield Redevelopment Assessment Consultant to Fair Graham in the amount of $482,000. It is through September 30, 2029 with one possible one-year extension option. The funding source is the U.S. EPA Brownfields Assessment Grant. Number 10, the committee recommends approval of award of non-competitive contract to U.S. Community Solar at no upfront cost to the city with a 15% rebate on energy produced applied to our account balance directly by ComEd. The contract duration is 20 years. Number 11, the committee recommends approval of application and award of acceptance of the Illinois Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity Community Services Block Grant in the amount of $1,105,405. The grant does not require a cost match. The grant term is from January 1, 2026 to June 30, 2027. The grant awarded will provide funds to develop and implement programs to assist low-income residents in working towards family stabilization and self-sufficiency. Number 12, the committee recommends approval to reject all and take new bids for the North Main Street handrail replacement. Due to higher than anticipated bids, the project needs to be rebid after revision of its scope. I place these 12 matters before you.
Thank you. So, Council, with your permission, as Alderman Frost alluded to, I'd like to hold out item 1 for our fire department and our team to review that to see if there's a way to decrease that cost. Is there any objection to that item 1 being held out? Thank you. So we have 11 items before you. Is there any discussion or questions on those 11 items? Alderwoman Meeks.
Thank you so much. I was just curious for item 5, 6, 7, and 8. Were these 4 items budgeted in the 2025 budget, or were these just additions throughout the year that we've added to the budget?
Director Haggerty?
Item 5 was not, but was recommended as a way to reduce the amount of rental costs associated with barricades, as well as provide a safer experience. 6, 7, and 8 were budgeted.
So when you say reduce the rental costs, who is it reducing the rental costs to?
Well, either the event organizer, at times we pass those costs along, or the city's direct expenses. Okay. The 3 of the parades, 3 of the annual parades, we provide barricades at no cost. So this would reduce the city's cost exposure on parade barricade rental.
And so prior, we would rent them?
Correct.
Prior? Okay. Thank you so much. And then does that apply for 6, 7, and 8?
6, 7, and 8 are replacements of existing equipment.
Were those budgeted, I think?
Yes, they were.
Thank you so much. And then I do have one last question. Thank you so much. Item number 12. I was just curious, North Main handrail replacement. Where is this located?
This is located, if you were heading north, right? That would be north. If you're heading north on North Main, right before you get to the mobile gas station, prior to the roundabout, you have the railing that's elevated to your left if you're heading north, and it would be directly to your right if you're heading south on North Main, and it has been under poor condition, I would say, for the last 6 months-ish, because I believe someone hit it.
All right, thank you so much.
Any other discussion? Alderman Beach?
Your Honor, thank you. Number 10, is any of that available to the citizens of the community?
Director Haggerty?
Yes, actually, I believe under the enabling state law, 40% of the subscriptions at in community solar have to be residential. So we would, the city would enter into agreements directly with U.S. Solar, but any residential customer can also participate in community solar programs. There are a variety of solar fields available and companies that provide this, U.S. Solar being one.
But this particular one?
They wouldn't, because you're subscribing based on your individual account's usage, they wouldn't be able to sort of piggyback on the city's contract, but they can reach out to U.S. Solar and subscribe to the same service and the same sort of benefit, the same bill credits that the city is receiving directly.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Other discussion? Did I miss it? No. Alderman Frost?
Thanks. With respect to item number 5, I know I asked a couple weeks ago about the cost and the use of these items, and I've done a little digging into these Meridian Rapid Defense bears. I just was out of town over the weekend and saw me being used at a parade in a town much smaller than Rockford, and I think they, since I think what happened in New Orleans, you see the usage and safety elements that these items really provide over just having a barricade. A car at a parade or any sort of public event could drive through a barricade, and these items, the neat thing about them is they can be used over and over again. They're portable, they can be moved, due to whatever events going on, and they can be used throughout the city at a number of different events to just basically to keep all of our residents safer.
Yeah, I want to say it was a Wednesday after or the Wednesday prior to the New Orleans that Chief Red brought that forward to us. So, any other discussion? Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Durkee. Aye. Logeman. Aye. Toomberg. Aye. Frost.
No one's had
Tarina. Aye. Prunty. Aye. Wilkins. Hoffman? Granith? Beach?
Director Hammer, are we allowed to ask? Sorry, Alderman.
One thing I'm saying is that A and B.
Item 7? There's only one item. Am I looking at the right one? That's a skid steer loader to Bobcat? Okay. No, you're good.
Salgado? Meeks? Bell? Bonnie? Items 2 through 9, 14 ayes. Item number 10, 13 ayes, 1 no. Items 11 and 12, 14 ayes.
Thank you. Next, we'll go to Planning and Development. Alderwoman Wilkins.
Thank you, Your Honor. Item 1, an ordinance approving the development agreement with Aetna Building Solutions and the City of Rockford for the construction and maintenance of a rail line in the amount of $139,233. The funding source is the 11th Street Project Fund.
Thank you. Any discussion on the one item before you? Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Durkee. Aye. Logeman. Aye. Toomberg.
Aye.
Frost.
I'm sorry. Yes, aye. I'm sorry.
Frost.
Aye.
Tarina. Prunty. Wilkins. Hoffman. Granith. Beach. Salgado. Meeks. Bell. Bonnie. 14 ayes.
Next, we're going to go to Code and Regulation Committee. Council, we have 8 items before us. Is there any discussion on any of the 8 items? Clerk, please call the roll.
Durkee.
Aye.
Logeman.
Aye.
Toomberg.
No on 9 item rest. Oh, I'm sorry. Aye.
Frost.
Aye.
Torina. Prunty. Wilkins. Hoffman. Alderman Hoffman. Granith. Beach. Salgado. Meeks. Bell. Bonnie. Items 1 through 6, 14 ayes. Item 7, 13 ayes, 1 no. Item 8, 14 ayes.
Thank you. We'll go to Finance and Personnel Committee. Alderman Frost.
Thank you, Your Honor. Number 1 is an ordinance approving the lease agreement with Emerald Property Management in the amount of $9,000. The agreement does not require a cost match. It's 1 year. The funding source is the WCC MHB grant. I place this matter before you.
Thank you. Is there any discussion on the 1 item before you? Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Durkee. Logeman. Toomberg. Frost. Torina. Prunty. Wilkins. Hoffman. Granith. Beach. Salgado. Meeks. Bell. Bonnie. 14 ayes.
Thank you. Is there a motion to adjourn? We have a motion. We have a second. Anyone want to have discussion? No discussion. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, have a great night.